Sealy. And when you cover weather and climate for a living, you get a front row seat to the turbulence.
There's a hurricane. Yeah, there it is.
So buckle up as we take you on a whirlwind tour from flying into a hurricane to the bottom of a 30-foot snow hole. 2023 came in roaring for California. The core of that bomb cyclone, well, it brought big time winds, and you can see that gas station awning was taken down, just some of the damage. A state plagued with drought got too much rain too fast. Despite the damage, reservoirs filled for the first time in more than a decade, and even resurrected a ghost lake. If you would have been here 6 months ago, this road that we're standing on that is submerged down there would have led you to tens of thousands of acres of critical farmland in our nation. That farmland is now gone. In the Sierra Nevada, it all came down as snow, more than 800 inches of it in some spots. It was an epic year to study at the Central Sierra Snow Lab, where we dug deep to help scientists predict flooding in the spring. You're seeing me at the bottom of a snow pit. We're about 35 feet down. Across the country, in the city that never sleeps, and with a milky Manhattan behind me and those milky skies, this is not something that you want to be exposed to for hours without being protected. We won't soon forget choking on that smoke from Canada's unprecedented wildfire season. From Minneapolis to Chicago to New York City, the United States intermittently had the worst air quality in the world this summer. And as the world bakes in its hottest year on record, extreme heat was the story of the year. When we say we've never seen stretches of 10, 12, 15, 20 days, depending on the city, we are obliterating records. The planet heating at an unprecedented pace, literally off the charts. And it wasn't just hot on land. Marine heat waves around the world, ocean temperatures soaring to 101 degrees in the Florida Keys. This water is like bath water, and it is warm early. That's the big deal. With water temperatures 4 to 7 degrees above average for this time of the year, it is likely fatal for much of the coral reef. We were there with the scientists the moment they discovered a mass coral bleaching event never seen before in the Florida Keys. So we've been looking at several patches. It's all white. It's dead. That means within the last 2 weeks, bleached, gone. Warm water is also super fuel for hurricanes, and a 2023 study says that those extremely warm water temps can make it twice as likely for hurricanes in the Atlantic to intensify more rapidly, like Hurricane Idalia. It is amazing to think, as we have this now Category 3 hurricane about to make landfall. We're 100 some miles south and east of it. And look at the pooling of coastal flooding that has taken over. Rapidly intensifying and surging into the Big Bend of Florida, flooding Treasure Island hundreds of miles away. And in October, Acapulco slammed by a devastating Cat 5 Hurricane Otis. Otis went from a tropical storm to a Cat 5 in just 12 hours, which is something that only a handful of storms have done around the world since records began. A year of extremes, marking the global impact of climate change.
Climate change is here, it is terrifying, and it is just the beginning.
The devastating toll of climate change and its existential threat to all of us, and is the ultimate threat to humanity.
We have to run as fast as we can to make change. Climate scientists say the best way to make that change is to move away from fossil fuels as quickly as possible. And this year, I got a closer look at some other solutions. In Florida, restoring manatee habitats that were decimated by storms and saltwater. Planting fresh eelgrass by hand. In the West, a growing use of cloud seeding, making it snow more than it naturally would. And how simple landscaping choices could help protect homes from wildfires. The native shrub here, the white sage, has all but stopped the invasive grasses from keeping to burn. And then here, the ignition site is still going, and they have not lit. Just some of the many efforts to make that much needed change.
Well, we're not going to give up. Humans have caused this problem, but humans can also solve this problem.
Look at her go! Look at her go!
Drawing next from